Uh, I think this is recording. I was on looking at my online diet, Crookedfingers, and looking at BookTube, and people were doing these your readership tag, and I thought I did this. I thought I'd just do it this afternoon since, like I said, I got some stomach virus and I don't feel too well, but I thought I could do a reader's tag. Today is still the March the 9th, 2019. It is 3:34 in the afternoon. A cold, gray, rainy, snowy, icy day. And I was writing in my diary a minute ago. I'm on page 216 for the year 2019. So here's a readership tag. When I looked at this tag, I really couldn't say much because you'll see in a minute. It says, question 1. Who influenced your beginning as a reader? Well, I wrote here, no one influenced me as a reader. When I was growing up, it was always the radio was on, or the stereo was on, or the TV was on. It wasn't like people didn't read. I never saw anybody reading. And I grew up among people who were uneducated. I don't think they finished high school. But I remember as a boy, I always loved books. I always liked looking at books. And if I could come across a book anywhere, I would look at it or try to read it. And so, yeah. So I don't know where that came, this love for books. Question 2, what is the first book you remember? Well, like I said, when I was growing up, it was mostly, there wasn't any books around the house. And like I said, when my mother was killed in a car wreck when I was 16, I lived with my aunt up in the San Francisco Bay Area. And then I was in the 10th grade, and then I went in the 11th grade. And when I was in 11th grade, I was like, going on 16, 17 years old. I was just into music. I was into the San Francisco music scene. I was into the Berkeley scene, Berkeley, California. I was into smoking grass. I was into girls. And I don't remember reading, except maybe I had just stuff to read for high school. And then I was in the 12th grade, I got really into psychedelics, and I got into reading a lot of, I was in Young Life, and I was in Baha'i World Faith, and I was looking at all the world religions, and I was, and then that summer after high school, summer of 1970, I became a Christian. And so when I became a Christian, the Bible became the book that had the major impact in my life, and has always since been the Bible. I started reading the Bible in 1970. I was just finished high school. I was starting junior college. And then I went to a Christian college for a short period of time. And then I just always been reading the Bible. I read the Bible for many years. I mean, like first 5 years of my Christian life. And it was only when I got around 1975, I started reading this Christian writer, A.W. Pink. And he had an impact on my life at that time period in my life. Was his commentary on the Epistle to the Hebrews around 1975. So, question 4, what author was your first love? I don't have any first loves. My first love is the Lord Jesus Christ. But as far as writers, besides the Bible, I would say St. John of the Cross. People like Isaac Ambrose, the Puritan Isaac Ambrose, the Puritan Thomas Matten, the Puritan Thomas Goodwin, Scottish Scottish divine Thomas Boston, Ralph and Ebenezer Erskine. Theologians would be B.B. Warfield, Herman Bavinck, people like that. But if this house is going to burn down, I'm not really attached to these books as far as think that I could live my life without them. I just need my Bible. I mean, it's kind of great to have all these books, but as you all know, nobody really cares. I mean, you know, I show you all these Christian books, but who cares? I mean, people, even in the Christian world, there's anti-intellectualism. People don't read Christian books. People don't read secular books. So, but besides the Bible, I have, like, you know, St. John the Cross, The Cloud of Unknowing, Carthusian spirituality, people like that. But I know I could just live with the Bible. Question 5. What is the one book that has been on your TBR for so long? Well, Moby Dick. I've been trying to read Moby Dick by Herman Melville I don't know how many times. What go-to suggestion for a new reader? Well, besides the Bible, you know, people like Joyce Carol Oates, John Updike, Saul Billows, T.C. Boyle, people like that I like. Thomas Wolfe, Jack Kerouac, people like that. Ernest Murdoch. People like that. What are you reading, currently reading? Where I'm reading, I don't know how many books. I'm just reading all kinds of books. It's March Mammoth, but I'm just reading too many books to show you guys. So that's the readership tag. Yeah, like I said, when I was growing up, nobody read. I stumbled across books. As I had a Bible. My grandfather gave me a Bible when I was a kid. I always had that. But I grew up with TV. I grew up with music, you know, records, and Mamas and the Papas, and Johnny Cash, and Joan Baez, and then when I was in high school, it was the anti-war movement, and Bob Dylan, and Van Morrison, and Joni Mitchell, and the Steve Miller Band, and the Grateful Dead, and then I became a Christian. It was all Jesus music, and the Bible, and singing in tongues, and dancing in the Spirit, and then I became a Calvinist, and I got into Calvinism. I got into Reformed theological literature, and the Puritans, and now I'm into all kinds of books since the last 10 years. But I'm always reading something. I'm always writing in my diary. I'm always has my nose in some book. So that's the readership tag. Like I said, I don't feel well, so I'm going to close. I hope this recorded. If not, that's the way it goes. Goodbye.